Hello, Sonia. Hello, Sonia June. How are you? Can you let me know if you guys hear me okay and if the resolution is all right? And Carp says, hello, my friend. It's Carpe Diem. Oh my goodness, where have you been? It's been such a long, long time. I hope you're keeping well. It's always a good energy and good to see you, good to hear from you. Hope all is well with you, with your mom and dad. I wonder if you ever got that dog that we kind of talked about or not. And hopefully you're keeping healthy and, as usual, busy. It's a delightful surprise to see you here. Sonia June, good of you to be here. It's a wonderful surprise as well. I'm glad that you had the chance to see that we have a live stream. I usually don't have live streams at 9 p.m. Vancouver time anymore because I'm usually out and about at that time by the on the sea walk and having my 10-kilometer night walk. So I need to start it at that time, 9 o'clock. But tonight I didn't. I went yesterday around earlier, and then I had gym workout. So tonight I'm just kind of taking it easy, and I thought might as well let's just have a chat. And Carpe Diem says, "I'm well, thank you." Says you've been an inspiration as always. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Very kind of you. I'm delighted that you guys are all here. Best place says, hello, sir. Hello. Says, everything is fine, sir. Video and audio. Okay, good. Thank you very much for that. Let me know, best place, since I think it's maybe not the first time, maybe, but maybe it is. I don't remember where you're tuning in from and how old you are and your gender. If you'd help me out with that, I'd appreciate it. And here we go again, Carpe Diem with his generosity, embarrassing us. And thank you very much for the super chat. It's very kind of you, but you didn't have to do that. You've done enough. And he says, I went to Victoria last week. It has been wonderful. Oh my goodness, good. Good that you got some traveling done right now. I think you're living in the freest place in Canada. Alberta, yeah? Is it Alberta or you're in Edmonton? I forgot. But I'm glad that you got some traveling. I haven't gone anywhere for the past, 3 years now. Last time I was out was in 2019. And since that trip, I haven't gone anywhere. Um, Best places, Mail 24 from India, sir. Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Carpe Diem says, Lol, I guess it's Alberta then, yeah? Yeah, you guys are lucky. We are, you know, we can't claim that we are such a democratic country anymore. Shame on us. So, so what's happening here tonight, guys? What are the stories that we can explore? Best places. Have you ever visited India, sir? No, I have not. Never had the chance. Um, Never came about. There was no particular invitation or reason or um, allocation of such schedule. But I know there are amazing places in India to see, to experience, And that's one place that one of the places, one of the beautiful places, as I understand, that I have not seen. Evidence says you're a good man. I only wish you the best, Mehran. I appreciate that very much. Very kind of you. Thank you for the kind words. And you're a positive man. You're an energetic and well-meaning, well-intended human being, and I appreciate you paying attention to the channel and uh, being present whenever we gather. You're very kind of you. So it looks like tonight nobody expected us to have any live stream. So we have a semi-private chat here. There are like three of us here at the moment. We had four. We were four. We lost one. We're three. But who knows? We may increase in numbers by the time we're going through a bit. Yeah, only two people now. Well, we hit five now. We're back to four. We're like a stock market. We go up and down, or the inflation, or the rules and rules that the different governments of our provinces, including federal government, keeps changing by the hours, up and down. Lucky Dude says, a 17-year-old from India says, finally, I'm able to attend your live stream, sir. How to not pay attention to a thought, how to get rid of those attractions. Well, you need to focus to the roots of the matter, not the topic. In other words, the topic of a thought, intrusive thought, is irrelevant. You need to understand the mechanism of the brain. And the mechanism of the brain is that it's got moving parts. And anything that has different parts to it, it can malfunction. And even if something has only one part, that one part can malfunction. And knowing the human beings, the way it's been put together, mentally or physically, the organs, the parts of the physical portion of our entity, and the mechanism and function of our brain based on neurons and how it's designed to shut down intrusive thoughts and function the way it is designed based on our preferences and values, they can all malfunction. So, what you need to focus is the actuality and the fact that the brain can malfunction and does malfunction. And intrusive thoughts is part of being a human being, part of the activities of the human psyche. Now, there is a mechanism in the brain that it's automatically designed to shut down intrusive thoughts as it pops up. And sometimes this mechanism, which is in the striatum, in basal ganglia, in the midbrain, which is right on top of the reward and habit center, it's called caudate nucleus, and that lever, that mechanism malfunctions. So when it malfunctions, it doesn't do its job, which is shut down the intrusive thoughts automatically. So when the prefrontal cortex suggests some thought, appears in your head, intrusive thoughts, as it appears in every human being's on Earth's head, it doesn't get treated properly, which means it doesn't get scrutinized and shut down by the caudate nucleus because it's malfunctioning. When it doesn't, it keeps hovering and its presence is felt in the screen of the head more than a few seconds. When it does, then the owner of this brain, malfunctioning brain, you wonder, why is it there? It must mean something. Why? Because since childhood, you've been brainwashed to think that the brain is your intellect, that the brain is your character, that the brain is your boss, that the brain is you, and you work for the brain. Like the brain is more important than you are. So you haven't recognized that there's a you, and then the brain works for the you. You think you follow the brain. You're the selector. Whatever the brain conjures up, you're the only power that can veto it or choose it. So you're the boss, not the brain. When you think the other way around, then you get affected by the intrusive thoughts of different kinds. And you take them seriously, as if they could do anything to you, as if they could mean anything to you. None of that is true. It has no power. Brain is very powerful to make you feel something that doesn't exist is real, but it has no power to turn what you have believed to be real into actuality. It's only a fake. It's only a fear, but makes it so real that you become anxious and fearful and believe that it could be true. That's the power it has, but that's the extent of the power that it has. It cannot actually make you to do what it suggests or become what it suggests or conjures up. For example, you can think of you're gonna murder someone. A thought comes in, but you'll never do it. Or it can give you intrusive thoughts about pedophilia. They're gonna harm sexually some child, but you never do it because it's against your values, and you're the only one in charge of allowing such thoughts to take actuality in real life or not. So they can appear, but you have the mechanism of quality control and command center that is beyond the brain. Brain has nothing to do with it. You have, and you, based on those values, veto it. You select and veto, and the brain can keep making thoughts. So allow brain make thoughts because it does. That's what it does. But don't be afraid of it. It can make all kind of thoughts. None of them mean anything to you. They're all irrelevant to you, and you're safe. But just learn about the disorder and deal with it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Lucky Dude says, does food play a role in our thoughts? Not necessarily, really, but food that are rich in GABA neurotransmitters, or at least can help with the proper nutrition and balance and proper sleep. It creates more of the neurotransmitters that are important, such as GABA. GABA increases GABA neurotransmitter about 37, 39%. And GABA neurotransmitters are responsible for the management of the depression and anxiety and intrusive thoughts. And growth hormones, serotonin, dopamine, these are all based on what you eat and your activities. So you can choose good nourishment and it can help out as in general. Plus exercise that creates different neurotransmitters and brings the balance to you, and your mind, your brain, not mine, your brain gets busy in occupation, so it won't be standing idle and then trying to find garbage to hang on to, which part of it is intrusive thoughts. And Carpe Diem says, thumbs up for the wonderful teacher, Mehran. Please support this channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, we sure do need the thumbs ups. And Carpe Diem says, I hope next time I can meet you in person. I hope so too. Hope this world gets to become normal again, and we can all have, gatherings and so on, as we sometime in the past hoped for it and planned for it. Until then, we just do this, I guess. And so now we have whopping 5 people here, which is very encouraging. I'm kind of lazy tonight. I usually every night go for a walk, and for the next 2 nights I think I'll go a different time, and then again I restart it at 9 o'clock, and then usually by 11:30 I go to the gym. But soon, gyms will need certain kind of a card to prove that you have been complied and have something allowed something to to be added to your the chemistry of your of your body. And you got to show that card before you can go to the gym. I guess gyms will be losing lots of clients because not everybody is willing to do that. And Lucky Dude says, "Do you watch movies and TV shows? If yes, then what are they currently watching, sir?" Well, I don't watch TV. I use internet for research and for, making videos and learning from scholars in different sciences, like such as neuroscience, neurosurgery, and philosophical opinions, and stuff that can help me to analyze what I want to analyze, such as Mr. Jiddu Krishnamurti's teachings for 100 years ago. And but Netflix I watch sometimes. I chill with Netflix. Last night I was watching with a good cup of tea and a nice piece of healthy brownie, but it was actually a protein cake, not a sugar brownie thing. Had only 4 gram of sugar, but I was watching Expendables with with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger and uh, Jet Li and few other famous actors, including Bruce Willis, I believe, and was it Bruce Willis? I think it was. And who else? Was it Bruce Willis? Also Banderas. What's his first name? I forget his first name. And Karadim says, "I love that you never give up, Meran. Never give up, never surrender." Says, "I loved being by the sea and ocean. It really helps your soul." It does. It does. It very much does. It's an amazing experience, you and the nature, and whether you're thinking about something or just soaking it all in, it's you and the nature. And you learn you're not alone, that when there are no one around, there is the existence of life, that you're part of it. You're walking in that energy that makes life. You become one with that energy. You become one with life. You become life. You and nature, there's no separation. When there's only you and nature and you submerge yourself as part of it, you want it to be one with it. And you will have no choice but to be one with it when you don't have a separation between your energy and the nature's energy. You feel they're all interchangeable and pass through each other. And that's the time you realize you're never alone, even if you're by yourself, because you are by yourself in something. That something is actually made out of what you're made out of, which you become one with it, means you're in harmony with the whole entirety of the nature universe. And that means you're part of bigger thing than you think you are. And that part of being part of a bigger thing makes you feel you're among the humongous existence of nature. You're not alone. You're part of a bigger existence, rather than thinking of yourself as you and then the nature have a separation. You become one with nature. Then you cannot be alone. Hmm? that energy of the nature made all these leaves and trees and the oceans and everything else and the air and other people, and everything becomes one, pretty much. So, and we have somebody in Chinese is trolling us because we really don't understand what this is. So, but he has taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segment with the same write up. So I wonder what it means. Maybe somebody who speaks Chinese, or is it Japanese? I'm not sure. It says Japan. It says Japan may strike over weekend. All right. Well, that's something bold. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. And Carpe Diem says, yes, we are part of Earth, one with life. Lucky Dude says, which city do you currently live in, sir? Vancouver. I'm right here in west coast of Canada, in British Columbia. Raul says, 5 years married with 2-year daughter. 2 months before, we had an argument. I lost my control and slapped her. Mistake. I should never do that. Yes, you're right. But it happened. It shouldn't happen. Your job is to protect women and children, including from your own desires and your own anger. You protect women and children against everything else that could harm them, including your own desire and behavior. That's the real meaning of a man. Being a man is not about having a muscle or having a male genitalia. Being a man is a character where you can control your anger in front of minors, in front of weaker sex. Physically, we're talking about children, women. You do not show your manhood by force or by harming anyone, let alone if they're women or children. Remember that for next time. I hope you have had the chance to make it up to her and apologize and ask for her forgiveness. Says, but it happened. And she left with my daughter. It's been 2 months now. She said she need time and space and freedom at present. And since then, we had only arguments on phone. No, stop argument. First thing first, say what I'm about to say has nothing to do with our differences in opinion or procedure or point of views on whatever it is that we may be discussing. Or what I'm about to say is separate from that. And that is this. I want to sincerely apologize for my behavior. And that was not expected of me. I don't know what came over me. I take full responsibility for it. I will never, ever allow such a thing happen. If I should chop my hand off, it will never be raised on you or our child. That was a mistake. I'm sincerely apologetic, and I'm embarrassed and ashamed of it. I will protect you. My job is to protect you, and I should have had more control on my emotions. And I apologize, and I ask for your forgiveness, and give me your trust to allow me to be who I really am. Be sincere about it. Be sincere about it. The one thing that happens is that you have complied to your wishes of apologizing for bad behavior that you had. So at least you can forgive yourself. And whether she forgives you or not, that's up to her and her choice. But you have done what could show your sincerity about the bad behavior. And that's the first step. The second step would be never, ever, regardless of what, Never do that again, ever. A woman should feel comfortable and safe with you. That's your number one priority in life. You don't agree with her, you don't want to be with her, fine, separate. But you never raise hand on a woman or child. You communicate different ways of disagreeing, but no. All right. Now, Kapitian says we are never alone. So true. We will be with the source soon. We are part of it. Yeah, but I'm not really hurrying to be with the source soon. If that happens, that happens. But I ain't running for it. And best places, sir. Sometimes I adore people for what they are, and I just know them digitally through internet. They might be famous, so after like knowing them for some time, I just want to live with them and know them. More like just cuddling and all. Well, because you're looking for psychological security. That's obviously is missing in your life. Now, that could be, first of all, that's a elusive psychological secret. Nobody can really reach it because there's always some challenges and some shortcomings in all our psyches and all the happenings that it's not within our control. But obviously, you're missing certain kind of a accomplishment in your life, certain kind of a security, whether it's job security, financial security, comfort security, security to know how what the future will hold for you, something that would put your mind at ease. That psychological security, you find it in the way that other people have created that kind of a situation for themselves. And you want to join them or maybe sit with them or have tea with them or cuddle with them to feel secure because you believe that they have created a secure life for themselves, whether physically secure or psychologically secure. But you can be damn sure that through your perseverance and your planning and preparation and accomplishments, you can create a nice, secure, and psychologically secure, comfortable, with provisions for your life by yourself through your own uh, efforts and planning. That it's very possible for you. And you got to find a way to stick with something that you're good at or become good at and create that kind of life for yourself. So you won't envy or you try to, you know, make gods and goddesses out of other people and the way they live. It's more because you've lacked creating such a secure life for yourself. So you kind of gravitate toward what others have completed, which is palatable and it's to your liking. And we have Carpe Diem again, give us a super chat, says Meran. I have been away for a while, but I will never forget your kindness. May you be blessed. And thank you very much, Carpe Diem. Again, very gracious of you, and thank you for the kind words. Rani Idemir says, hi, male 24 from Germany. Ah, hello, Rani. And you were here earlier on today, weren't you? Yeah. So right now, I guess it's morning there, no? Yeah, it's 8 hours from now. It's not morning. It's pretty late for you. It's about like, what, 5 o'clock in the morning, so to speak? Yeah. So good morning. Raul says, I regret it and will surely take care of it. Will not happen again. I apologize to her. I gave her time and space and waiting. She said she is very much scared now to be with me. How to regain trust now? First of all, one time apology is not enough. And you may show your interest in her well being by your behavior and actions. and make sure that you can supply her with kind of finances that she needs to buy things for herself, to be comfortable. Make sure to let her know that you're available for whatever she needs you to do for her, to make it easy in the time that she's taking. And through your kindness and actions, remind her of your true self and help her to see that as an anomaly, not your character. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to go to her and say, or give her a message, say, I want to make sure that you understand my sincere regret and the fact that I'm willing to stand for the consequence. And one of the which, and not the only consequence, uh, I'm willing to stand in front of you, and you may strike me double. And if that helps you to forgive me and to see how sincerely regretful it is for me, I am more than happy to be in front of you, and you may strike me double. Let her know that you mean it, and that would be fine. All right, you're a man. Nothing happens to you. But you want to make sure that this woman understands that was a mistake and that you're willing to pay for it. Trust is everything. Women should feel supported and protected by her man. I mean, if that's supposed to happen by her own man, and what's she going to expect from men outside? The whole world is unfair to them, let alone, you cause that kind of it's not good. All right. You're quite welcome, Raul. You're quite welcome. And Carpe says, Marin, I have learned from you to live in the moment, good or bad. We learn from our own experiences. Yes, we do. We do. Because we have no other choice. There is only present moment. And if we can learn how to deal with it, roll with it, negotiate with it, or at least prepare for it as much as possibly we can, at least to the point that we do and behave in such a way that there would be less expectations of um, derogatory or negative happenings as much as we can contribute to it, that would be at least something. Otherwise, we deal with what happens because we have no choice. Randy says, is it possible to change your sexuality? Why do you want to do that? I mean, being straight and then in your 30s find out that you're bisexual or gay. Well, there are some people who have always been uh, different sexuality, but they knew it. It's not like you're heterosexual, you love to be heterosexual, you've lived of it as a heterosexual, you love to live as a heterosexual. That is your choice and your natural way of being, and then switch without your interest or your choice. No, that doesn't happen. It's not like, as I mentioned, you're not milk to be milk today and then stay outside of the fridge for a few days. You'll be, sour milk and or buttermilk, and then later on, a little further, you become yogurt, and then a long time passes, you become cheese. That's not a changing thing that happens. It's not. So these are intrusive thoughts that creates negativity in your head. And because, again, as I said, you're not focusing on what I shared with you earlier. Again, you're going to the intrusive thought. You're focusing on the content of the thought rather than intrusive thought in general is a malfunction of the signaling system of the brain. And you're supposed to simply ignore it. Go educate yourself with the things that I have put in the descriptions of the intrusive thought videos on the playlist Intrusive OCD, HOCD short videos, and see the separation between brain, thoughts, and you, and also the video links for psychotherapists and psychologists such as Dr. Jan Weiner, Dr. Philipson, Dr. Schwartz, and these are well-known scholars that can help you understand deeper that this is a subset of an OCD rather than taking it as a actuality of seriousness that such a thing is beyond your control and can just hit you like I don't know, some kind of a weird modification that can hit. No, that's what it does. It's called HOCD, which is the malfunction of the signaling brain, the signaling system of the brain. So educate yourself and stop being bothered by all these things that you read and you watch and you conjure up and all that. Don't question them. Just ignore them and focus on your vetoes and choices. What you choose, what your inclination is, what you like, what your preference is, what you've been and what you enjoy to have been, what you enjoy to be, what you will enjoy to continue being. That's what you are, not what pops up in your head, Because in my head, lots of things can pop up. If I want to listen to what my head does, then I'm not listening to me. There's a me, and then there's a head. The head, I don't care. Me, I'm the chosen. I'm the selector of all the things that I instigate, not what the brain suggests, and I take it or accept it. No. Brain can make thoughts. Okay, fine, no problem. But I see if it's in line with my values or not. If it's not, I ignore it. I don't have to defeat it. I don't have to debate it, interact with it, argue with it, refute it. Just let the thoughts be. I don't care. There's so many other people live in the world. They have different thoughts and mentalities and lifestyles. So they can do what they want. Doesn't concern me. Same thing. Brain is also not me. It's like some other people. It has its own function. While I use it to do certain functions, it itself uses its own apparatus and makes thoughts. Well, let it make thoughts. Doesn't concern me. The brain's thoughts is not my thoughts. I have to understand that. You're not the brain. Brain is not you. As Dr. Schwartz in his book, Brain Lock, has said, and stop reading these bullshits all around and confuse yourself. People have different motivations, and who knows why they're saying the stuff that they're saying. Appearance of a thought contrary to your values is not an evidence that you have not been what you've always been and that you're not what you want to be and that your gender is changing. It just means intrusive thought. That's all. You ignore it, you go on and stick with what it is that your preference is and what your values are, what your lifestyle is, what your inclination is. Protect it. What do you do if you're walking in the street, somebody comes and starts talking to you, hey, you want to do this with me or something, some suggestion? What do? So, suggestion was made. I have to accept it. The brain is the same, makes suggestion, but the difference is this guy knows what he's saying, but the brain doesn't even know what it's saying. It just says things. You are not supposed to take it seriously or pay attention to it. Ignore what's not in line with your values and go on and stick with what it is that you're interested in and protect that. And then the brain will rewire itself because it sees you're not interested in these sort of behavior or thoughts. And then through neuroplasticity, which is the way you behave in light of these intrusive thoughts, it rewires itself and gets back to what is normal for you, as it's always been. Carpe Diem says, things happen for a reason. I'm so glad I have turned into your channel now. Nothing is a coincidence. And consciousness is beyond the brain. So much research has confirmed this. And quantum physics, yes, yes, yes. We know our souls are beyond our brain. Good for you, Carpentier. Excellent. Yes. There was a video that I did, which is, I believe, is quite interesting. It was based on the um, presentation of Dr. Egnar, which was a collection of the experiments, neuroscience and neurosurgery experience of Dr. Speary, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owens, and Dr. Leibet, which I find it very interesting. And I used that information and made a video, which is quite elaborate, a little bit longer than Dr. Egnar's, but I used his research. And um, I would like to put the link in here for anyone who's interested to enjoy it and learn a few things from the experiences of these neurosurgeons, and you'll come to see amazing information that can help you sort things out even further. And of course, in my playlist, Intrusive OCD, HOCD short videos, you can see that I have proven beyond a shadow of doubt, using the information and logic of the philosophers of like Aristotle 1,000 years ago and modern times neurosurgeons, and have proven it beyond the shadow of the doubt that you're not the brain. Brain is not you. And there's so much more to our mind and our soul and who we are than the materialistic um, process of the brain, that it's enlightening all by itself. If I can get it, I can't find it. So, okay, we'll go here. All right. I'm going to put it down here. This link that if you wish to take a look at it, you can enjoy it. And Rahul says, I feel lonely, worried when she left me suddenly with my daughter. It was unexpected, but I focused on my job, gym, and some social work to keep busy, requested her to come back, but not forced her. No, but you need to follow it up with your activities. It doesn't hurt if you send her some little gift and again, some maybe financial support while she's away so she can have a little bit of a provision for herself and the daughter, make it easy for her. And just be in touch, and don't be so rigid. Express enough without being a pest, leaving space for her, but at the same time be there when she needs something, provide. Tigrisku Luke says, male 25 Poland, says, hello. I've been suffering from HOCD since the last 1 month. I've been recovering thanks to you, and suddenly an intimacy with cousin in childhood, 5-year-old, scares me. I'm gay. Look, you might be 5-year-old and you might have gone to the neighbor's home and stole a cherry from the tree. Does that make you a thief or a bank robber? Or maybe you just, you were a child and you pushed someone over the stairs. Does that make you murder? Actually, I did that when I was a kid. No, I didn't do that. My mother did that. Apparently, every time somebody would come to their home, and she was the younger daughter of the three, they would say, "Okay, Mary, you come and play with the kid, with the guest's child." And she would hate it because she said, "I have my own things to do at that age." And so she says, one day, this child was a child of the guest, and they called me, said, "Come and play with her because the guest is here and they have a child." So, God damn it, why am I a babysitter? And she was a child herself, so she kind of pushed the other kid over the stairs, and they never came back. So what's that makes my mother a murderer or what? You're a child, you do shit things, it means nothing. So you can't be suddenly, all your life you've lived in certain way, and suddenly one decision based on childhood, which when you're not even knowing what is what, supposedly to define you when in your adult, nonsense. This is OCD. This is called, French call it, the doubting disease. That all you do, you find doubts. There's no basis, but that's what the disease is. It's the malfunction of the signaling system of the brain, and basically that's a disorder. That's all. You don't have to interpret them anything. Childhood, now, yesterday, tomorrow, none of that. Thoughts show up and stupid things have been done. No interpretation necessary. What you choose, what's in line with your values, what you decide, what you select, what your preference is, that's what you are. That's it. The rest of it's nonsense. Yeah, your child who's going to decide for. Don't go there. Stupid. It's stupid. Don't. Um, there's enough videos on this channel that it can enlighten you about the whole process of OCD and subsets of OCD, including HOCD and whatnot. No, stop talking about it, Luke. It's just bullshit, just nonsense. That's the actual nature of OCD disorder: negative thought, negative thinking, and doubting disease. You find the smallest thing that is different than what you actually select and your preference and your values are, and you latch onto that. The brain latches onto that and makes you think that that is what identifies you, which is all total garbage, bullshit. Just don't fall for it. The way you cure OCD is not pay attention to the nonsense. Pay attention in your values and stick with that. Dr. Schwartz called it wise advocate. That's where your values, that's where your proper judgment is, that you judge the thoughts that show up and you relabel them, rename them, you call them for what they are: intrusive thoughts, OCD thoughts. You don't accept them as their suggestion says, the content of the thought. You label them as intrusive thoughts, and the content is irrelevant. And how Dr. Phillipson calls it, uh, you know, um, gatekeeper. You have your values that protect you from the intrusive thoughts that supposed to want to penetrate, but you rely on your gatekeeper, where your values and core principles are protected, and you rely on that. You lead your life based on those values that the gatekeeper protects, rather than these intrusive thoughts showing up trying to confuse you, which they're just thoughts. They have no intellect. There's no plan for it to show up. There's no mandate. It just shows up.
I couldn't hear what you said.
It just shows up as this watch interrupted me. They just show up as something. It's a thought. There's no plan behind it. All right, we take a short break. I'll be right back. Just warm up my tea. Okay. Yeah, Siri is being rude. Interrupted my discussion. Suddenly, your wrist. Sometimes it's talking. You just what the hell? Startled me. Um, no, Rani, I'm not on Reddit. But if you can list me on Reddit or my channel, go ahead. And Luke says, thanks a lot, Meron, for your response. I feel much better now. I'll try not to think about it anymore. Yeah, well, you can think about it, but it's useless, it's worthless. There's nothing to think about. It's like you walking in the street, there's people talking about something, or there's some kind of a thing that is not interests you is there. So what are you going to do? You're thinking about everything you see? No, you just see it and you know it's not part of your interest. You pass by. You don't interpret it. Oh, it's there. It must mean something. No, it's there. So what? Um, Rani says reassurance is really bad. Yeah, it's not necessary. When you seek reassurance, in fact, that recommends to you that you're doubting something. Otherwise, if you're in doubting, you wouldn't ask for reassurance. So when you seek reassurance, that causes you doubt something. It proves to you that you're doubting something. So you're asking for reassurance. So it's a waste of time. You don't need reassurance. For what? Somebody suggests everything, so I got to constantly go ask for reassurance of, did you mean this bit? Or does it have any values? What you said is really true? What? Who are they? Their suggestion has no, has no weight, has no value. And Surya says, I'm Surya, 21-year-old, as a HOCD sufferer, how to handle a guy in their circumstances. What if he proposes or seduces me? I want to be straight, sir. I don't know what you're talking. Who can seduce you? What are you living in the bushes? What? There are laws in the country, and you're not interested in something. I don't know what that word means. If somebody proposes to do some kind of a sexual thing to you, and this is not your values and inclination, just tell them to fuck off. Simple. You go get some part of your family and say, this guy is trying to, suggest these sort of things, and that's the end of that. Um, Green Dragon says, coming from a position of power helps with OCD. Make the choice to disregard choices. There's no, okay. I recommend one-on-one with Mehran. If you can afford it, please do it. It will change your life. Oh, thank you, Carpe Diem. We have a advertisement here. And Syria says, Surya, okay, okay, we got that. Says, when I watch a gay porn for reassurance and self ERP, that's that's not necessary, and it's not an ERP. That's actually bothersome, and you're not supposed to be watching something that is not in line with your values. Why would you do that? If you constantly watch something that you don't want to think about it, it's like saying, don't think about the pink elephant in the room. You will keep thinking about what you're telling yourself not to think about. So that's a very stupid thing to do. Don't do that. That's nonsense. It's no way. Go to a psychologist and psychotherapist who's specializing in OCD and HOCD, subsets of OCD, and let them direct you to proper ERP. And they should be a specialist in ERP, not doing this kind of shit by yourself. That's got negative connotations, and that's confuses and brings about all kind of more intrusive thoughts, which they're irrelevant, but you shouldn't be encouraging that, not knowing at least. All right. Yeah, well, it's about I've already mentioned it, MD, in all the videos. So just watch the videos, and there's not much. Just I didn't even know what stuff that I know now. So we've got 6 people here. So let me see if my tea is warmed up. Right back. Okay. Louis Woolridge says, Louis, first you got to tell me how old you are, where you're tuning in from, and so on. Do you have any advice for someone who has recovered from HOCD a lot? I struggle still with the topic of gay comes up in conversation, and anxiety starts to come up from old habitual patterns around friends and stuff. I think it stems from the fear of them thinking I'm gay. Yeah, let them think you're gay. So what? You know, you're not. You know what your interest is. What do I care what people think of me when I walk by? If that's the case, I can't even walk. What am I wearing? Do they like what I'm wearing? How about these girls? Do they like what I'm wearing? What about these people? Would they think I'm respectable with what I'm wearing today? I'm not wearing my suit. What about this and that? It's just basically you're giving control of your own emotions and mood and balance to what other people possibly could or could not be thinking. How do you know what they think? Why should you care? It's on them, not on you. You are who you are. So whether they think you're gay or you're not gay, who cares? What's important is you know what your preferences are. That's all. The rest of it is just irrelevant. How many people have thought I'm gay? Who knows? Maybe they have, maybe they didn't. But what do I care? All I care is that I love girls. My interest is that. My orientation is that. So what do I care what other people conjure up in their head, or the perception is or is not. Irrelevant to me. So the same thing. The word gay comes up. Well, there's some people in this world, they're gay. That's how they've been born. That's their makeup. That's their programming. And some people are not. So okay. Different genders. Some people are women. Some people are men. Some people are, they like this color. They like that color. They like this sport. They like that sport. They like this food. They like the other food. The people have different interests in many different things. What does it matter if they think I'm gay or not gay? I live my lifestyle the way I choose. They can think however they want. Thoughts is free. They can think whatever they want. So what do I care if they think I'm gay or not gay? Doesn't bother me. It shouldn't bother you either. I don't need assurance. No, you got to think. What do you think of? Well, what do I care? It's up to them, not up to me. Carpe says, next time I'm in Vancouver, Victoria, I will take a seaplane to Vancouver to meet up with you. I hope next year will allow this. I hope so too. And Louis says 24 Australia. MD Summers says, how your OCD story go on from childhood? Oh, you don't want to hear about my OCD from childhood. I had all kinds of it. And all of them are gone. So the more educated you get, the more. But I didn't even know any of these things. I just thought this is crazy. I gotta figure out, why am I touching the light switch 50 times? Why do I think if I don't, something bad will happen? Or my exam will not go. All these things. And why should I go on the block 2 times? All these were glitches in the brain that all I knew was it was crazy. So I tried to reprogram myself. It took a long time because I didn't know any technique, anything. But I was determined to figure out that these are nonsense, doesn't make any changes, whether I go this way or that way or this or that. So, Carpe Diem says, thumbs up. Let's make this channel viral. Well, yeah, I hope so. I'll probably die before it goes viral. if this watch gonna start on me like that in the middle of my talk, Siri, shame on you. All right. I'm passionate when I talk. I don't want interruptions. There's something. So I didn't understand what to say. Well, I didn't want you to understand. I want them to understand what I say. And Semer Khan says, please, sir, please make video on courage and consciousness. Courage and consciousness. Courage and consciousness. Thoughts and consciousness, they kind of jive. Courage and consciousness. Well, it's something I gotta see what you really mean. Guys, it's been 1 hour and 9 minutes. It's time for me to say goodnight. I hope this was as enjoyable for you as it was for me. Thank you for all the kindness and all the kind words and the super chats and so on. I wish you all well. I look forward to talking to you next Saturday at 1 p.m. Vancouver time. And if so, at night or sometimes during the week, maybe spontaneously some live stream. Otherwise, I look forward to talk to you next week on Saturday. And mind you, we have Miss Mystery says Tesla circled a building 3 times before entering. And yeah, I know about that Tesla. Yeah, it's one of my favorite characters in the world. And Nikola Tesla, I've read his book, and I actually ended my course that I was teaching in university on from concept to market. At the end, the last session of the course, I always ended it with the movie biography of Tesla, which we all enjoyed. And Miss Tree says, I have a vortex math mindset. Yeah, it's true. So Carpe Diem says, have a wonderful evening, Mehran. Take good care. And thank you very much for all. I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to talking to you again. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.